Today we're taking a look at the brand new Dragapult EX deck from Twilight Masquerade. Let's take a look at that deck list. Alright, this is the initial concept I came up with for Dragapult EX. This is a very straightforward and hyper-consistent deck list. We do play the 4-3-3 line of the Dreepy through Dragapult EX. A lot of people have cut down to just 2 Draklocks since we do run the 4 Rare Candy as well. We do have Pidgey and Pidgeot line here, 2-2. Very, very similar to kind of a Charizard setup build. With the Pidgeot, you do take a few turns to get going, but once you get going, it's extremely hard to deal with. The damage counters being placed all over the board, and the 200 damage from Phantom Dive is just absolutely crazy. Drakloak has the really good ability Recon Directive, which allows you to look at 2 cards, keep one, and put the other one on the bottom of your deck, which allows you to cycle through your deck similar to flower selecting on a Comfey. But you don't have to put one of those cards in the Lost Zone. It's just a more powerful Comfey card. We do play the Lumineon and the Rotom. We want to get Rotom on our first turn if we go first. We actually just want to get it first turn going first or second. The Rotom allows us to draw 3 cards. We could find it with Nest Ball and Ultra Ball. We play 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 3 Nest Balls. A lot of people have tried cutting these Pokemon search cards in favor of more tech cards. Every time that I have gone first, I've opened up a Buddy-Buddy Poffin, it feels like, and it makes a huge difference when you're able to flood your board with Dreepy, Pidgey, Manaphy, and just get your overall setup online. We do play 1 copy of Mela, allows us to attach a fire energy from our discard pile, just kind of helps us set up a Dragapult. Our A spec is the Neo Upper Energy. Being able to quick search with Pidgeot for the Neo Upper Energy has won me quite a few games. I can't really figure out a better A spec to play in this deck. This is the list I played in all of today's videos. If I had to make a couple of changes, I probably would. I would try and add in a Tatsugiri. I would try and add in a Rescue Board and a Radiant Alakazam. There's a few matches where if I had a Radiant Alakazam, I would have either won or I would have just won faster. It's not completely necessary, but I feel like the Radiant Alakazam is really, really powerful. And if you have the Tatsugiri, it just helps you with your overall setup, having the 3-3 line of Arven and Iono as your draw support. Being able to find those with Tatsugiri would just make the deck overall better. We do play the Enhanced Hammer. This has helped so many times against Lugia. You get rid of their new A-Spec energy, and you take an extra prize card. We also play 2 Earthen Vessel to find our energy, and 1 Collapse Stadium to dump our Lumineon and Rotom after they have been used and we no longer need them. If I were to cut a card for one of the 3 I mentioned previously, I would probably consider cutting... It's a really hard choice, but I would honestly consider cutting Collapse Stadium, Defiance Band, and maybe even Lumineon. I know Lumineon is just a really consistent card to help us set up and to play the game, helps us find bosses' orders when we need it, helps us find Mela when we need it, Iono, Arven. But if I had to cut cards, it would be Lumineon, Defiance Band, Collapse Stadium, and Enhanced Hammer. If we cut the Lumineon, we could definitely get rid of the Collapse Stadium, having the Rotom in play. A lot of other decks play Collapse Stadium, so we could just utilize their Collapse Stadium whenever it's played. Those would be the cuts, but overall, I like this consistent deck. We can also use the Collapse Stadium to dump one of our Dragapults if it gets damaged. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with this deck. Radiant Alakazam fixes a lot of math, but if you place your damage counters correctly, then normally you don't really have to worry about it. It's just whenever they bench basic Pokemon afterwards, you do the 200 damage to their active. Taking 20 damage off the active before you attack again to knock it out can help you set up the math on the board to take another prize, even if they use the 70 HP Pokemon that everybody's starting to move to because of this crazy attack. We do play the 50 HP Pidgeys. The Call for Family, just absolutely necessary to set up our Dreepies and to potentially grab our Manaphy if we need it. Overall, solid deck list. Let's go ahead and hop into some games. All right, our opponent's allowing us to go first. I think normally with this Dragapult deck, you do want to go second just to get set up. It's similar to a Charizard deck in that way, where it has so many stage 2s, you really just want to get set up. This is actually a really good going first hand, though. Let's see what we can do against this Charizard deck we're playing against. Looks like we prized one of our Pidgeys, which is unfortunate. looks like we got basically everything else. We have our Neo Upper Energy, which is great. This is the one card you don't want to see in your opening hand. This is for way, way later in the late game after you've spread a whole bunch of damage counters. All right, looks like our opponent's kind of popping off here. They got their Charizard. If they knock out this Manaphy, it's actually not the worst thing in the world. We actually would prefer them to knock out the Manaphy. That way we don't have to burn an energy or a switch to be able to start attacking with our Dragapult. We do have Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Dragapult available to us. So this is setting up pretty nicely. We're going to take out the Pidgey probably with our 6 damage counters just to prevent them from being able to set up. And then if they don't evolve the Bidoof, the next turn we'll go after that. All right, we're going to grab our Rare Candy. And we're going to grab our Defiance Band here. Go ahead and Rare Candy into the Pidgeot. And then we're going to use our Pidgeot to grab another Rare Candy. Setting up pretty well here. This is one of the things I was kind of worried about with Dragapult is how easily it was able to set up. So far, we're not really having too much trouble. Don't think we actually need the Defiance Band at any point during this matchup. So we're going to go ahead and pitch it, and we're going to pitch... This is a really hard choice, but we're going to pitch the Mela. That way we can grab a Drakloak and start using its amazing ability, Recon Directive. Recon Directive allows you to look at 2 cards, and then you get to pick one of them, and then the other one goes to the bottom of your deck. All right, so we do want the Fire Energy. We're going to go ahead and start powering up our next Dragapult. And we're going to do Phantom Die for 200. And then we're going to do 5 damage counters onto the Pidgey. There's so many crazy plays you can make with this, but I think I just want to target down their draw support here. All right, with Arven, we have access to Ultra Ball, and basically whatever we want to do for next turn with Pidgeot. We may just end up going to grab another Drakloak to keep the Recon Directive going. So far, this deck feels very, very strong. If they don't get this evolved here, they're going to be in trouble. Yeah, they're just going to swing. And that's why we take out the Pidgey and the Bidoof as soon as we can. I think we just want to grab another Drakloak here. It's not a whole lot we need to do other than continuing to attack and set up our board. All right, let's see what we get off of our Drakloak 2 cards. This is like a weird Comfey where you don't actually have to get rid of anything. We're going to grab the Dragapult. And let's see what else we can grab. Boss's Orders is always good. We could grab the Buddy-Buddy Poffin set up a little bit more, but I know we prized our other Pidgey, so we're just going to take the Boss's Orders. I don't even think we want to do anything here. I don't think we want to evolve because we want to have access to the draw power. I feel like we have to set up energy every single turn with this deck, so we're going to go ahead and pitch one of the Rare Candy. I know that's kind of crazy to do, but we just don't need it. We have access to be able to manually evolve everything we need. Go ahead and take out the Charizard. We're going to take out the Bidoof. And we're going to start setting up damage counters probably on the... Honestly, don't know what's correct here. If we start setting up damage counters on the Rotom or we just boss up the Rotom. I feel like this match is basically over. I don't really know what they could do to come back here. I mean, they could just have the Rare Candy in their hand. But with us taking 3 prizes and the Boss's Orders in hand, it feels like this match is over. This deck takes prize cards so fast. The 6 damage counters is absolutely crazy. You basically have to play 70 HP Pokemon. That Bidoof, if it was a 70 HP Bidoof, wouldn't have really mattered too much because we did have that extra damage counter. But if they played the higher HP Pidgey and the higher HP Bidoof, then I wouldn't have been able to take 2 prizes there. So it's looking like we're going to be forced into playing the worse basic Pokemon with the worst attacks and the higher retreat costs, just to make it so we're not going to get completely destroyed by Dragapult going forward. But with the boss's orders coming up, this match is basically over. Don't really see what they could do to come back. Take the knockout here. We're going to manually evolve. We could Pidgeot for the Neo Upper Energy if we had to. Yeah, absolutely crazy. It took us a couple turns to set up. We weren't even attacking our first turn that we were able to. And it feels like we just absolutely ran over this Charizard deck. There's the Neo Upper Energy. All right, just boss up one of the low HP 2-prize Pokemon. You can start setting up knockouts this way with TM Devo as well. Just absolutely crazy how strong this deck feels. It's going to completely change how we play the game. We're going to have to be playing so many big basics and so many high HP pre-evolution Pokemon. Ooh, Arceus League, nice. All right, let's hop into another match. We're starting off 2-0, which is fantastic. Our opponent's choosing to go first. There's a good chance they're playing Lugia. If they're playing Lugia, we're going to be in trouble. It's a really hard deck for us to beat. Starting the Lumineon does help. I feel like every time I play Lugia, I start Lumineon. Let's see what they get here. Lugia. Great Ball for the win. I'm pretty sure most of these lists only play one Great Ball. Missed energy of... Yeah. Okay. The one of Carmine. Okay, this list is playing more than one Great Ball. This is one of the lists from like the city leagues in Japan. I haven't seen it yet. Most of them don't play more than one Great Ball. All right, we have a shot here. They didn't really have a lot going on. And we do top deck our Rotom, which is amazing. Going to get two Pidgeys down here. If we lose our one Pidgey, we're going to be in big trouble. I think we just want to... There's almost no shot they don't have like a research in hand. I feel like they have a research in hand with double Archeops. They're going to retreat and just knock out this Dreepy. So we're going to attach an energy here. And we're going to instant charge and see what they come up with. Double Rare Candy is nice. If they don't hit us with an Iono, we have the Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy into Dragapult EX, which is absolutely crazy. Another Great Ball. This is very interesting. I'm not a fan of 4 Great Ball. I understand the logic because it allows you to find Archeops like they just did, but it's not guaranteed. They've gotten exactly what they need off Great Ball, I think, every single time they've played at this game. Are they just going to read the wind? Yeah, they've gotten Archeops, Lugia off their 3 Great Balls. That is insane. Yeah, there's the V-Star. Do they have the Ultra Ball in hand? They do not. If they had the Ultra Ball in hand, that we could have gotten kind of ugly for us. With what we have, though, we do have the Forest Seal Stone. We're going to be able to do basically whatever we want, and that switch is going to allow us to do whatever we want. Being able to switch into the Dreepy with the energy on it. All right. Grab the Pidgeot. All right. Don't think we need to grab Arven. I do want to Iono them. I want to Iono them really badly. But we can't, unfortunately. I want to dump these two cards out of my hand just so I don't see them again later. Thinning is winning. And we're going to swing into the Lugia here. Having an Iono there would have been absolutely crazy. Just sometimes you just don't have it, though. It's going to be really hard for them to put down a Minccino here. If they put down a Minccino, I'm just going to go after it. So they're probably just going to try and... Actually, I don't even know. It's going to be really hard for them to do anything here. They probably have a ton of energy in hand. Let's see. They could play the 70 HP Mincinos. It's not likely. The more I play with this deck, the more I want like a Radiant Alakazam. Being able to pull those two damage counters off of the Lugia V, pushing them back to the Lumineon, or just anything else in general, put one damage counter on this Ogre Pawn would be very, very powerful. There's the Ultra Ball play. Looks like they're going to go after a... Probably after the Dreepy here. I still don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing. Like, what's the plan here? There's the Mist. I mean, they could put Mist on basically all of their Pokemon here. It's just a matter of if they do it or not. They could do double turbo and whatever energy here, and then they could put a Mist energy here and stop Dragapult. Raging Bolt and Lugia V-Star are probably the worst matchups for Dragapult. Into everything else, I think Dragapult is heavily, heavily, heavily favored. Yeah, and then they're going to Mist right here. At least that's what they should do. Wow. Wow. What are they doing? That's interesting. They're kind of sacking the Minccino here. It's fine with me. Take out one of the Dreepies here. It's not too big of a deal. I think we're just going to grab maybe an Iono here. We could do the Mela. I don't know if we have any... No, we don't have any fire available to us. If I go after the Lumineon, they're just going to put a Mist energy on it. I really just want to boss up Lugia here. I think that's the correct play. Hopefully we get something good off the prizes here. It's perfect. We have the Ultra Ball and Neo Upper Energy play for another Drakloak. They are just going to take out this Drakloak right here, more than likely. If they do that, we'll probably just boss up the Lumineon. That would probably be the best thing to do. This is an interesting matchup. Very interesting matchup. This is a really strong card. I like this card a lot. Another Lumineon. What are they going to grab here? Iono? Boss? Rotom? Honestly, I don't know what they're doing. Okay, they're taking out the Pidgey and the Drakloak here. Seems kind of bad. Seems kind of bad. What we're going to do next turn, we're going to boss up this Lumineon, take the KO. We're going to put damage counters on here, so that way we can knock it out with another Phantom Dive, 6 damage counter placement. Then we're going to place 1 damage counter onto this Ogre Pawn. Ooh. Okay, now they just lose. They forgot that this is a Terra Pokemon where they can't damage it on the bench. Normally you want to promote your free retreater, but I think we know exactly what we have to do here. All right, we're going to take out the second Lumineon with full health, and we're going... Actually, he put a Mist Energy down. We're not going to do that. It's okay. This is what we're going to do. Take out the energy in play. That way they can't do the Aqua... What's it called? Aqua Return. They could do Aqua Return next turn if they wanted. So we're going to prevent that play. Yeah, which makes them concede. There's not a lot they can do once you do that. I think that matchup is really, really, really favored for Lugia. I think that maybe they just made a couple of misplays there. Still learning how to play Dragapult, obviously, but so far it's going really good, 6-0. Anytime you have to put down double Lumineon, it feels really bad with Lugia. And a lot of the time, if you start Lumineon, I think your win percentage goes down by like 90%. All right, that was interesting. I was kind of sweating that matchup. I figured that would be one of our worst matchups. And if they get the Minchinos evolved really quickly, I feel like it could be a really bad matchup. And you have to be very, very careful with your Mist Energies. You do have to run, I feel like, 4 Mist Energy in Lugia from now going forward. I think we're going to choose to go second. So far, we've had luck going first and second, but I think it's correct to go second with this deck. If you don't get set up, you're in trouble. That's just kind of how it works with every deck, but I feel like this is even more fragile if you don't set it up. We'll take that start. All right, let's see what we're playing against. Having Rotom in your starting hand is always a nice feeling. All right, mirror match. If they just have a couple of Buddy-Buddy Poffins in their hand, we're probably going to lose. Couple of Buddy-Buddy Poffins in the hand. Yeah, when you go first and you just start a couple Buddy-Buddy Poffins, there's not a lot I can do. And they're going to go grab a Rotom. All right, perfect. Perfect setup from our opponent here. Let's see what we can do about it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect going first, turn 1. All right. I feel like we can't dump our Ultra Balls here. That's the problem. Yeah, we're just going to hit the Iono. Buddy-Buddy Poffins for the win. Oh, we only have 1 Pidgey. That is unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. All right, we have Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Dreepy into Dragapult next turn. Just see what our opponent's going to end up doing here. Yeah, just Iono them into absolutely everything. That's nice. Jeez. Do they got the rare candy in their hand too? If they have the rare candy here, I think it's just kind of over. Yeah, there goes our really good next turn. Jeez. But yeah, they got it. And they're just going to sack the Pidgey. Prizing one of the Pidgey here is basically going to be the reason we lose. Yeah. Prizing the Pidgey is a bad feeling whenever you go up against the mirror match here. Especially whenever they have that basically perfect turn 1 and about as good as it gets turn 2. They have a complete setup here. Minus the Drakloaks, but it's still pretty dang close. Yep, game over. All right, 6-1. There's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes your opponent just has it. Dragapult takes prize cards so fast. Perfect turn 1, and then you Iono them into 4 Seal Stone and a couple of Zatus. You're probably going to lose that match 10 times out of 10, regardless of what you're playing. All right, we got a pretty good turn 2 hand here. I'm not sure what we're playing, though. Hopefully it's not Stall. This may be a Call for Family angle. Depends on what we get. All right, could be another mirror match here. Let's find out. Yep, another mirror match. Let's see how good of a setup this one gets. The double Buddy-Buddy Poffin Nest Ball into Rotom is on turn 1. That was crazy last turn. Wow. I feel kind of bad about that, but I mean, we're going to take it. That's why we play the extra Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I think we're actually going to go ahead and dump the fire energy just in case we need to play Mela. Grab a couple more energies out. I think we need another Buddy-Buddy Poffin here. We got to do it this way. Our opponent's not taking out our lone Dreepy next turn, so I think we're safe to do this play. We're actually going to go ahead and play Star Alchemy. We're going to grab a Buddy-Buddy Poffin just to make sure we don't get behind on our setup. All right, let's see what we get. Ionos are nice. So we have Rare Candy Pidgeot that we could play our Iono, see what piece we need off our Pidgeot, and go from there. The double Pidgey was probably a misplay. The more I think about it, the more that just becomes a liability. With TM Devo in the picture, we probably should have just went with the lone Pidgey since we had the guaranteed Pidgeot. They could use Iono, and that would have messed up our plan, though. Let's see, though. I'm not sure what the Manaphy does. Manaphy doesn't block damage counters, unfortunately. We need a basic that blocks damage counters from everything. Yeah, there's the Iono. So Maybe the double Pidgey was correct. We still have it. Wow. Wow. 3 Drakloaks is crazy. But we have the Ultra Ball here to the Rare Candy for the free retreat. And let's see what we get off the Drakloaks first. Most lists are only playing the 2 Drakloaks. I did add a third. I do like to have that extra draw support because right now that extra draw support is going to come in. Wow, they got a barrel. Not to. Manaphy makes more sense now. Seeing another boss there is really, really not what we wanted. All right, we need to get a Dragapult EX or a Pidgeot here. There's the Dragapult. And let's see what else we get. Psychic. Perfect. All right, now we can grab the Pidgeot with Ultra Ball. That's why we didn't want to dump our Ultra Balls at the beginning of the game. If we would have dumped our Ultra Balls, we probably would be in really bad shape. And we're going to grab the Defiance Band just so we have something to discard. We do not want to discard our boss's orders here. Game's running really slow. Grab the Pidgeot. We need free retreat. Went ahead and grabbed the Collapse Stadium here. We're going to dump our Rotom, and we're kind of forcing them to dump their Rotom too. They haven't used their V-Star power yet, so this could lock them out of being able to get a good combo going here. And we're just... yeah, we're just going to pass. If they get the attack, they get the attack here. Unfortunately, we just didn't have it. One card short, just didn't have it. Yeah, and they had the Forest Sealstone in hand. So grabbing that Collapse Stadium really, really saved us from them being able to do anything too crazy here. If they have... they're probably going to grab the barrel here, but if they had the Switch and everything in hand, that would have gotten really ugly. Energy retrieval, that's interesting. That's interesting. All right. Do they have the Switch? All right. This deck they're playing is such a pile. They still don't have the fire energy. I wonder if they realize they don't have the fire. Okay, okay. That would have been funny. Yeah, putting down that second Pidgey was definitely a misplay. We're going to see if we could get a rare candy here. Keep them from Maybe. I think we want a rare candy here. Fortunately, they have the TM Devo on play for next turn, which is really bad for us. But we can't give them that free prize. They TM Devo us, take out our Pidgeot, that's fine. Jeez, that was the wrong play. Should have just loaded up on the Drakloak there. If we would have loaded up on the Drakloak, we would have just knocked it out. I was hoping they didn't have the Psychic in hand so we could take out their energy acceleration, but just didn't work out. We're just going to try and load up our other two Dragapults. They're going to get two more prizes off of this attack here. Yeah, we should have loaded up on the Drakloak. We're going to get punished for it, but that's okay. This is a tough match. There's the Dragapult, which is awesome. I think we just want a fire energy here, right? Yeah. We don't want to hit him with the Iono because they didn't have the Dragapult. They could just have it in hand and they were just kind of slow playing. They've only got one left. They probably only play the 3. Whew. Making me sweat a little bit here. All right, there's another fire, which is great. There's our other Dragapult. They don't have another Dragapult here. We just win. Gotta have another Dragapult here. Gotta have it. Let's see if they get it. This ability is so crazy on a stage 1 into this powerful stage 2. It's just like Gardevoir with their, not concealed cards, but... with their refinement ability. It's kind of a broken stage 1 ability. But that's why we play 3 of them. A lot of people have cut down to 2, but I think playing 3 of them is the way to go. I know we didn't play the Iono last turn. We definitely could have. I just feel like they were kind of struggling to find their Dragapult. Yeah, they're putting them back now. They could have prized one. If they prized one, they're going to kind of put all their hopes and prayers on this one recon directive to pull one Dragapult. Well, they put back quite a bit there. They didn't put back 2 Dragapults, so it's kind of making me think they've got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just have it in hand. Why not? I think we lose here. I think they have it. I think they have it. Because they're going to be able to Alakazam over to the Pidgeot there. And then set up a TMD. They still don't... No, they still don't win necessarily. Really, really good play there. Definitely should have retreated to the Pidgey on that previous turn. Let them take the KO on the Pidgey and not set up 200 damage on the Pidgeot. That might be why we lose here. We should have just sacrificed the Pidgey. I was kind of worried that they weren't going to have an attack, though. And then we would have been stuck because we didn't have... I guess we could have quick searched for the switch. So, yeah, definitely a misplay there. I don't think there's any world where we can put down the Lumineon, is there? Because the Mela does not work. We need the Neo Upper Energy here. Neo Upper Energy and the other Dragapult. Yeah, because they're going to be able to do Radiant Alakazam. Top deck the Neo Upper Energy. No way. They're going to be able to... Yeah, they're going to be able to move 20 damage over to here. I think we have to put this in the active. I think if we don't put that in the active, we lose. See if we can get a Psychic here. Have they played any bosses orders yet? No. We can't put down Lumineon. I think we have to retreat into this Dragapult. Otherwise, we just lose. Yep. This feels really bad. This feels really bad. But we don't have a choice. The Bibarel is kind of crazy here. It makes the deck a little bit less consistent, in my opinion, but definitely helps. Yeah. There's the Ultra Ball. So we have Ultra Ball for Lumineon to grab. Did we already discard Mela? No, we did not. All right, so we have a guaranteed attack. We could also grab the boss's orders. The Painful Spoons play doesn't really work here. Okay, well, we just lose. Nice. Very nice. The Painful Spoon play works whenever you have the boss's orders in hand off of a 3-card Iono for sure. Well, we prized our Manaphy. That's always good news. Ooh. Jeez. We really needed all these cards. We need the energy. We're not getting the manual attachment this turn, which is unfortunate. Lost box. Dumping a Comfey already. Seems like a bad idea. They do play a lot of switch carts, so we have to be careful where we place our damage counters because they could just basically erase everything we're doing with switch carts. Pidgey, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. Pidgey inside a Lost box. This is weird already. We need a lot of help. A lot of help to get anything going this next turn. Top deck Arven would be really nice. Top deck Arven, that would just make everything perfect. If we top deck an Ultra Ball, we're probably Lumineon to go grab the Arven. That helps. All right, we're going to thin our deck here. Go ahead and recon Directive, see what we can pull. There's the Rare Candy. I don't think there's a way for us to get an attack this turn. We'd have to, like, ridiculously high roll this. Let's try it. Let's go for it. We're going to grab an Iono. Let's grab an Iono and dump our hand. Just see what happens. What's the worst that could... I feel like this is going to be kind of an easier matchup. A lot of low HP Pokemon here. Probably help them out. Yeah, we didn't do anything here. Gonna go ahead and grab another Drakloak. There's the Rare Candy. I think we want another Dreepy, actually. We really want another... we want the Rare Candy. We really want to see that that Manaphy here pretty soon. Two more Rare Candy. Right, we did get the Neo Upper Energy, so we are guaranteed an attack next turn, which is amazing. Don't see how they could get all of these cards out of our hand. Let's see what they end up doing. There's another Comfey. They've already dumped Roxanne, Super Rod, and Comfey, and a Switch. They're kind of losing a lot of their resources really, really quickly here. I've never seen anybody play the Pidgey outline in a Lost Box deck. Okay, that works. Definitely works. Fire Energy. Maybe a Radzart? No, because they have Radiant Greninja. What are they playing? What is this nonsense? This deck is nonsense, man. I'm super tempted just to go after the Comfeys here. Specifically that Comfey. Very, very tempted to do that. All right, guess we're taking a Nest Ball. Not much of a choice there. Psychic Energy. Perfect. I think we just take the Comfey. I don't see any reason not to. Grab another Dreepy. We're going to start Alchemy. We're going to grab the other Dragapult to prevent them from Moonlight Shuriken for 2 prizes. We're going to take out the Pidgey, and we're going to put 1 damage counter over here on the other Comfey, probably. This deck takes prizes so fast. It's kind of crazy. There's our Manaphy. Thankfully, we got Manaphy. We weren't guaranteed to get it off the prizes. That's why we wanted to evolve this other Dragapult. They got a lot of energy already gone. A lot of good resources gone. Still not really sure what they're playing. This deck feels really, really strong into Lost Box just in general. They have a switch cart here. It'll help quite a bit, but it's still going to be really tough for them to do a whole lot. Yeah, they got to put back that Comfey for sure. Probably put back a couple fire energies. Put back the Comfey and 2 energies. I guess we could check this. Lightning energy and the water energy. Artisan for free. Yeah, there's the switch cart. That's a good play. Is that a rare candy? Is this a Dragapult deck? Maybe the rare candy's for the Pidgeot, actually. Are they going to go in with the Moonlight Shuriken? Okay. I feel like the Spit Innocently is a little bit stronger here. To each your own. Probably means they're playing TM Devo. If I had to guess, that probably means they're playing TM Devo. Let's find out. I think we're going to go grab... That's nice. I think we're going to go grab a Super Rod. We could just boss up another Comfey. That feels really strong as well. I think we're going to grab Super Rod here to take advantage of their Artisan. And then we're going to play the Mela, perhaps. Put back all of these. Yeah, take out the Greninja here. The Greninja is just so strong, we just don't really have much of a choice. We're going to load up 4 on this Comfey. Then we're just going to put 2 here. They're probably going to use another switch cart to get rid of this. But with us loading up 4 on the other Comfey, it kind of makes it so the prize trade just comes out in our favor with all these Comfeys we're going to be attacking. There's the Delibird. Don't really see much use for the Delibird right now, because I'll just push up another Dragapult. The Dragapult not having a weakness is very, very nice. Makes it so Lost Box doesn't really have an answer. Charizard. All right, I'm glad we did not boss up that Comfey the last turn, because we're going to be bossing up that Charmander for sure. Lost Box, Charizard, Pidgeot. Very, very unique and interesting deck. Seems very clunky, though. They definitely play a TM Devo somewhere. There's the switch card, which is fine. We're guaranteed to get one of these Comfeys. Yeah, they got 1 switch cart left. They'll probably use it right here if they have it in hand. To go into the Cramorant, perhaps? They're getting rid of a lot of resources in the Lost Zone here. This is, it seems like it's just kind of lost. I don't know what they could do here. I mean, they could try and sweep with the Charizard, but I bet, if I just boss up the Charizard, do they just concede at that point? Actually, I can't. I've already played both my boss's orders. They got to go into the Cramorant here. They have to go into the Cramorant. I'm going to go down to 1 prize next turn. Then they are starting to one-shot me. We're going to evolve Drakloak here. We're going to collapse Stadium, get rid of our Rotom. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That made it a lot easier for us to do what we need to do here. All right. Going to dump the Rotom. Evolve the Drakloak. Recon Directive. We don't really need any of this. We'll grab this. Do we just grab an Iono and... I think we just grab the Iono. Put him down to 4 cards and just make him have it. All right, 1 prize card left. Not really sure if there's anything they can do to prevent this. They could sweep with Charizard for sure. I mean, it's definitely possible. If they have Rare Candy Charizard in their hand, we could still lose this match pretty easily. Hopefully they don't. We didn't update our win-loss record. We're 6-2. Yeah, they just got to have it. They got to have the Rare Candy Charizard here. There's the Pokestop. Pokestop. What are they putting back? I wouldn't have put back anything here. Why are they putting anything back? Maybe the Greninja for Nest Ball? It's the only thing that makes sense. They got to have Rare Candy Charizard here or they just lose. Yeah, they just put back 2 Fire Energy before using the Pokestop. I don't like that. Definitely should have used the Pokestop first. This is such a wacky deck, man. It's just like, hey, I'm going to put everything that's any good. Imagine like powering up Iron Hands with Charizard, attach to 1 Lightning, and then use all 3 of the Fire Energies on Iron Hands for amp you very much. That would be super unfortunate. I think I'd probably just quit for the day, just be done. They got too many attackers in this deck. You can't have Roaring Moon, Charizard, Iron Hands, Pidgeot. Like, that's just too much. That's just too much. We still don't even have a guaranteed win next turn. They could bring up the Iron Hands and trap that in the active and kind of stall it out, but it seems like it's inevitable at this point. Probably going to see a concession here in just a moment. Yeah. Good game. Kind of just ran out of juice there. I like the idea. I like the idea of Charizard powering up Iron Hands quite a bit. Yeah, so far this deck feels really, really, really broken. I'll take a record of 7-2 any day. I do play the 4 of Buddy-Buddy Poffin just because I like having Buddy-Buddy Poffin in my hand. There it is. This is a very, very, very good hand going first. Let's see what we're playing. Another mirror match? Let's find out. Ooh, Greninja. We haven't played one of these today. We just kind of have everything here. If that was a Fire Energy, we would definitely just Earthen Vessel it away. I don't know what energy does Greninja play? Like, do they play double turbos? I can't remember. I feel like they play double turbos. I think we have to keep the enhanced hammer here. I don't think they have a possibility of a turn 1 attack. I don't think so. And we're going to need Greninja. It's not Greninja. We're going to need Manaphy at some point. But I don't want to put it down too soon because this will evolve and start putting damage counters on it, and that could get really ugly for me. think we need to hold everything else in our hand. All right. We have Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Dragapult next turn. Busted, man. Absolutely busted. Everybody's playing the Rotom, man. Yeah, we got to get rid of those snow runs. Those are scary. Very, very scary to deal with. They don't get the Greninja, or if they don't even play the Greninja. Don't see why they wouldn't, but... Does this Greninja play? It doesn't. Maybe we don't need it. I know it does the 120 damage to 2 Pokemon, but... do we really need to worry about that? Like, how much do we have to worry about that? Because we don't have abilities on our Dragapults. This is a very... seems like a really bad matchup for them. If I can just take out both their Froakies here next turn. If I take out both their Froakies here next turn, do I just win? I think I just win. All right. Okay, so we don't have the knockout on both Froakies, but we could just take out Snow Runs as well. Let's see what we end up with. Urge. I think we just have to take out the Froakies. Another Dreepy, that's nice. I really want to keep the Enhanced Hammer, but I feel like we need the Nest Ball for the... I feel like we have to Nest Ball for the Manaphy before it's too late. Yeah. We could have grabbed the Defiance Band to discard to save the Enhanced Hammer. That was a misplay right there. I didn't think about it till just now. That was a misplay, but I think we're going to be fine. It allows us to save some of these cards in our hand. Didn't even check for the Manaphy, but yeah, it is there. I think we just go after the Froakies here. This deck takes prizes so fast. Is there a Froakie with 70 HP? I feel like if there's a Froakie with 70 HP, you just have to play it. Obsidian Flames, maybe? I think it's a bad attack. Like, this definitely is the better attack for 2 Froakie and put them on your bench. But, yeah, this could get... So I didn't want to put down the Manaphy. Because these are going to start piling up. Yeah, so Rare Candy. Yeah, we really need that Enhanced Hammer, don't we? I feel like if they have double turbo here, I mean, they're only doing 100 damage, though. I don't know what they're going to do to win this match. You got to play the 70 HP Froakies. I know this flock attack is really strong. Maybe only play like one of these. But you got to play the 70 HP Froakies. If you don't, that's just really bad in my opinion. It's really, really bad. This is going to pile up really fast. We're only going to have a few turns here with our Manaphy. But it's also going to pile up really, really fast on their Rotom. There's the Rare Candy. Do they have the double turbo? That's what I want to know. I feel like they have to grab the double turbo here. We do have the TM Devo. Do we just boss up the Rotom? I feel like that's what we should do. Or we just leave it and let them continue to have that pile up. I think we need to Iono because they just grabbed a card with Greninja. But I really like having this TM Devo in hand. There's the Iono. We get to save our quick search. Yeah, we got to put whatever card they just grabbed to the bottom. Yeah, I think they're going to lose this match basically because they play 60 HP Froakies. And no other reason than but that. I feel like next turn we could just boss up the Rotom and we win. There's our Neo Upper Energy. If we would have had that before, we could have made some cool plays where we retreated this Dragapult. We just didn't have the Neo Upper Energy. All right, they get down another Frostlass. We're gonna lose our Manaphy. There it is. We're going to lose our Manaphy. But I feel like if they put down anything else here, we just boss up the Rotom and we win. We could just TM Devo as well. If they don't put down another Froakie, we could just... There's so many plays. There's so many plays here. This seems like a fun deck. This Greninja deck seems really, really fun, to be honest. Imagine having these 3 Frostlass in play whenever you're playing like Lost Box. And it's just piling up on all of their Comfeys and Greninjas and everything every turn. I feel like you... Ooh. Is that a handheld fan? It was. Yeah, this is how they keep their double turbos, I think. That's how they keep their double turbos. If they put down another Froakie, though, they just lose. They have to know that. But if they don't put down another Froakie, they also just lose. I'm not super familiar with this Greninja deck. I don't see it. See how they're going to do it. We could just TM Devo this to prevent this from working, but I don't think we need to. They need to retreat. They got to retreat. That works too. You just don't have an attacker. Am I missing something here? They're going to take 2 prizes, go down to 4. Manaphy's going to get knocked out. I don't see it. Maybe we're going to grab Dragapult here just so we don't lose another prize at the end of next turn. And I think they just lose at the end of my next turn, even if I attack or don't. So I'm going to be able to win this game just by passing the turn, letting their own ability take out their Rotom. Oh, I misread handheld fan from your opponent's Pokemon. That could have lost me a game. I'm glad that I know what that does now for sure. This is a really crazy ability. The fact that it stacks. If you're doing 4 damage counters between turns and you have a couple of Greninja set up, you could just completely demolish your opponent. Our opponent's going to lose to their own ability here. They are going to knock out their Rotom between turns. This card is crazy. This card feels super broken. Super, super broken. Every card that's been printed like this before has been banned. Reset stamp. Just red card. Anything that shuffles. Yeah, just conceded. They didn't want to let their Rotom go down between turns. That deck seems really scary. I feel like that against most decks that have abilities for their main attackers, that can start to pile up quite a bit. All right. 8-2 so far with this Dragapult deck. I'm really liking the more consistent build with Pidgeot. I do play the 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffins to just kind of keep everything flowing. It allows us to go first. I feel like going first is really strong if you're able to get a setup. And having more options to get your basics down, going first is just really strong with this deck. It feels like a setup deck like Charizard where you want to go second most of the time. But if you play a lot of Nest Balls, a lot of Buddy-Buddy Poffins, a lot of Ultra Balls, I think you can get away with going first here. We're going to try it again, and until it burns us, I think we're just going to keep doing it. And never punished. Never punished. We don't have a way to get Rotom here, which is unfortunate. But we could top deck like a Nest Ball or an Ultra Ball, which would be great. All right, top deck. Top deck. Top Oh, busted. Should have checked if our Neo Upper Energy was in the deck, because there's a chance that we could be attacking next turn, depending on what we draw here. Nope. We are not attacking next turn. Yeah, we're still a card short. We're going to Arven for a Rare Candy to Pidgeot, and then we're going to Rare Candy into the Dragapult, and then we can use our 4 Seal Stone to grab our Switch. As long as none of those 1-of cards are prized, we should be attacking next turn. That's a lot of pieces to not have prized. We'll check for it at the beginning of our next turn. Top decking that Ultra Ball was absolutely crazy. That's basically what we needed to just kind of really get set up and attacking the first chance we get. There's Nest Ball. Grab Miraidon. Tandem units. Wonder if they're doing deck checks. Doesn't really seem like it. We haven't done too many deck checks today. Just kind of getting the feel of the deck. You should always deck check when you're playing in tournaments, just to make sure you know what you have prized so you don't make a mistake. There's the Raikou. Are they going to try and get the knockout with Raikou here? Prime Catcher. Take out our 1 Dreepy. That's a play. That is a play. But they have to get 2 energy to make it work. There's 1. There's some more options. They still have their Seal Stone as well. They got to get... There's the Jenny. And they got the Switch. GG's. I don't think we lose automatically because of this. Let's see. Now we got an Arven for a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I still think it was correct to do the 1-1 line. Pidgey Dreepy here, because we're going to get the Pidgeot now. Man, they didn't even have to V-Star. Oh, okay. They do have to V-Star for this. For what? Another generator? Yeah. Whiff. Good play by our opponent. Good play. Good play. The Raichu here is basically the only threat. We just kind of have to keep that from completely destroying us. I think we just want to grab an Iono here. Yeah. I think we just want to grab an Iono. I think that's the good play. Come on. If I would have known that we had prized a Dreepy, we probably would have grabbed a Super Rod there. This is okay. Everything's fine. Nice. Nice. All right. As long as they don't have a boss's orders in the hand, we're fine. They have boss in hand. I think we just lose. There's Town Store. What are they going to grab? Heavy Baton. As long as we don't get our Pidgeot taken out right here with a boss's orders, I think we still have a shot. I don't see how they could just run us over. I think we have a shot to still win even if they get two. Yeah, that's crazy. We have a shot to win still. Heavy Baton. Need a Lost Vacuum in this deck. Need a Lost Vacuum. Okay. Didn't want to play the V-Star because I figured they would have a Lost Vacuum, but just kind of high rolled it there. All right, now we have to grab a boss. We have to just let that Raikou keep its energy, unfortunately. I really wanted to play Iono this turn, but with him getting that Brave Charm, we can't do that. Got to take out the Raichu here. I feel like we almost have to set up 5 more on... This messes up the math. This Brave Charm is messing up the math like crazy here. What do we do here, guys? What do we do? I don't think it ever matters on the Squawkabilly, does it? Maybe we get a boss's orders right here off the prizes. That would have been nice. Okay. They can't knock me out, can they? They're only doing 180. Okay. Thanks for that. I don't think that's going to have the effect they wanted. Unless they watch them have a random Zapdos. And they play a lot of tools. That's a lot of tools. It's going to set it up and amp you very much, though. We need to Super Rod back our other Dreepies and Collapse Stadium this Rotom away. Three research in hand. Crazy. I wonder what they're looking for. I don't know what they're looking for. We got to get rid of that Iron Hands. Got to get rid of that. Yeah. They must have prized a lot of stuff there because it was looking kind of rough for us, honestly. It was honestly looking really rough there. They play a lot of tools. Maybe they just had a clogged up hand. I mean, so far, I mean, 9-2 isn't bad. This is the first time we've been playing this deck, first time I've been playing this deck. I do appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.